TikTok agreeing to settle a major lawsuit which accuses social media companies of hooking and harming children, just as a landmark trial begins out in Los Angeles. Now, the case centers on a 19-year-old who says design features made the apps addictive. The trial's still moving forward against other companies, Meta and YouTube, with top executives expected to testify. The outcome could shape hundreds of other cases like this as families and states take big tech to court. So let's talk about it for a few minutes now. Board-certified clinical psychologist Dr. Jeff Gardere joins us. Welcome. Thank you for coming on. Again, TikTok settles. Put that aside. What's at stake for these other companies and for our children? How do you look at this case?
Well, they're saying this is a bellwether case, right? If they can prove that the young person involved is actually experiencing depression, anxiety, social media addiction, and it's a form of causation, that it is a direct cause of these particular practices, then there are many, many, many more, if not thousands of cases.
Now, I kind of know inside, I have a feeling, right, that social media addiction is a thing, and it's not something that's helping our children, right? That's a feeling. You, as a doctor, do you have a way of proving that that's connected to what the companies are doing? I mean, have you seen enough, and what would you say about the issue?
Well, I think what these companies are saying is that there is a correlation. Many studies show a correlation. The more a youngster is on these social media apps, the more that they'll have some of these clinical issues that we just talked about. But correlation is not the same thing as causation. So if they can show causation, that there is absolute proof, which they have not been able to do thus far. They're just saying that there is a relationship. A lot of people accept that as being something that is real, but it may not be enough as far as the legality of a case like that.
That's the issue. Medical questions you and I are talking about versus legal questions. I have a clip here from the legal side about how addiction can be difficult to prove. I want you to listen to that, then we'll come back and talk about it on the other end. Here it is.
One of the questions that the jury is going to have to answer is, what does it even mean for her to be addicted, and can the law recognize that?
It's going to be very difficult for the plaintiff to prove that her well-being was affected more than her genetics, more than her social standing. Therefore, she has to prove that all these other factors basically should be ignored.
So what would you say about that, Dr. Gardere?
Well, it will be very difficult. You have to look at the premorbid history. What are the situations that she was in as a youngster before maybe social media took effect in her life? Did she have any predispositions to some of these clinical issues? Connell, you're absolutely right. This one is going to be absolutely difficult. And the other case that a lot of these companies are making is, okay, maybe we should accept some responsibility, but what are you as the parents, what are you as schools doing to help your kids find other interests other than social media? But I really do believe that we all have the responsibility, especially these social media companies, because it seems that they may be designing platforms to maximize time on these particular apps. And this is more of a social question and not a legal question.
Right.
What can we do to help our children?
Yeah, whether they're legally bound to or not doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do. I 100% hear what you're saying. Dr. Jeff Gardere, we appreciate your insights on this. We're going to watch this case closely even after TikTok settled. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.